welcome back once again. Another edition of Inside the Headset. It is week 9. Game 8 is upon us. 7 is in the books. I'm on the campus of Rockville. I got with me the head coach of the Rockville Rockets, head coach James Counce. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing good, thank you.
Monday, Columbus Day, 3 games left. Basically, you get 3 days per week to practice, about 9 days. Hard to explain to the guys. The regular season's coming to an end, and you've been trying to tell them that all along.
Well, I've tried to tell them and explain to them that it'll be over before you know it and realize it. So that's how important each day is. And looking at it, man, it seemed like yesterday we just got started, but we're here to tail end of it. So.
Well, and they make the announcement, head coach James Counce, and then you start to figure out, you grab your coaching staff, guys, this is what I'd like to do. I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. You feel comfortable with what we're doing, then you set it into motion and the kids start getting it. How do you look back and you say, is this what you thought it would be, or is it, are you where you needed to be, or kind of tell me, and you know a little bit more about this than I do. You're better. Well,
are we where what I'm used to? No. We all have different things in how we think or where our team should be as we go through the year. This team is learning me and I'm learning them. There's a lot more things going on than just the on the field stuff.
That Friday night, that what's going to happen against the Tullahoma Wildcats, or what happened 2 Fridays ago against Oakland?
To answer your question, it's kind of hard. Am I pleased with where we are? Absolutely. Because nobody is going to know unless they're here every day just how far we have come in a short period of time. That's the thing I'm proud of. And when those things start getting better, the other stuff on the field is going to be taken care of, and it's starting to happen. We're not in the market for more victories, but at some stages of the development and how we're changing this program, we like to talk about the things that are happening that we feel good about, and just like last week against Oakland, we did some things that we are proud of.
And that's a high-powered offense, defense. You've got to be in control of yourselves, or otherwise you get frustrated quick as a football player.
And they got up 14 on us, and I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. But our guys settled in there and played. Scored 14 points there before halftime. Got the football, had a 13-minute drive. That's a good part of it. And also a good part of that is that we still haven't played our best game. We still haven't put it all together. When we do, we have a 13-minute drive and we finish off with points. And we hadn't done that yet.
For 4 quarters.
For 4 quarters. We have played really good at times. We played bad at times. We haven't been consistent enough with it. But that's okay. We didn't want to beat week 2 and be where we wanted to be week 9. So a lot of these things that are coming, are going to. I think that this group is learning every day. Where teams that I've coached and been around and been there for consecutive years.
They don't peak to the level.
This part of the season, we kind of know where you are.
Yeah.
Well, this team is different because we're still climbing.
It's a little runway.
We're still climbing, and so that's what playing people tough and being able to come back from adversity and those kind of things. That's what we wanted. And I see that these guys are getting better. Eventually, we're going to put a game together. Is that going to be next week? I hope. Or if this week, next week, we got 3 games to figure that out. If we do, we can get hot at the right time. We don't know. But that's kind of where I think we are. I'm very pleased with the coaches and the kids. I can't tell you and explain to you. We ain't got enough time for me to explain to you the difference in these young men from when I first got them. And you know, from pregame meal and the way they act, to the way they handle themselves on the bus, to the way that they go about film prep, the way they go about getting in practice, to all those kind of things, you know, very little on the field stuff. You know, it's a lot about the preparation before you get on the field, and you know, these guys they're learning how to go about their business, you know, the way that I expect them to.
You know, it's funny you bring that up, you know, in the runway left of the team and so forth, and you're pleased with where you are. But what I hear is frustration that if I could take where we are right now and rewind it to week 1, man, I think we wouldn't be 3-4. We may be 4, you know, we may be 5-2. You know, I mean, I'm not saying but at the same time, you feel like what you're trying to tell the fans as well as the parents and the student body of Rockville is you're not with me long enough for me to sit down and explain to you and show you each individual person that's on the Rockville football staff, and that person stand up and you say, okay, let me tell you about week 1 about this kid, and then let me tell you about him right now. And you can name each and every one, and you can describe certain attributes where they were. And like you're saying, those are the things that they're going to take with them the rest of their lives about, because they are in a growing stage of young men growing up to be people that will go out here in our society and work in our environment, in our places here in Rutherford County and so on and so forth. Those are the type of things you want them to take with them and be good citizens and be good good graduates of Rockville High School and know that they play for head coach James Counce.
Well, you know, it's not about me, but it's about developing those things to where they become habit.
Yeah.
And then if it becomes habit, then they take those traits with them throughout their walk the rest of their life. You know, whether to be better sons, brothers, fathers, all that, uncles, whatever the case is, and to be responsible.
Yeah.
You know, and if we can get them to do those kind of things, you know, the rest of it on the field takes care of itself, because those things are going to be taken care of. You know, but anyway.
You know, got Tullahoma coming in here Friday night.
Good football team.
Yeah.
Very tough, physical.
Long tradition in Tullahoma.
Want to be physical. Yep. They got, you know, it'd be my first time to play against them. You know, so, you know, I think they beat Rockville 4 times.
Yeah.
Something like that. I thought it was 2, and then somebody else told me 4, but anyway, you know.
I like this game for you at this time in the season, with you been grinding and taking a lot of 3A schools on in your region. You know, some of the people are already done, but all they've got left is region games. So for you to catch this break right now, just we don't need it, but we do need it. We need it mentally to build for ourselves.
We got a few injuries that we need to get healthy with, and then and we've kind of went back and focused on ourselves.
Right.
You know, we had the fall break, practiced a few days during fall break, and then we got into this week today, you know, working more about, what we want to try to do against Tullahoma. But, a little bit of, reset there, and then get ready for what we want to try to do with Tullahoma, and hopefully gain some confidence in ourselves, and to get ready to finish up the last 2 weeks in the region.
Well, I'm going to be with you those last 2, because you come back, and then we'll do the last one here. I'll be with you for the senior night here for Riverdale, and then you're going to load the boys up and go across town. I'll be with you over there for your visitor game, and you'll go over there and take on Matt Kreisky. So you got the Kreisky brothers here at the end. Couldn't be any better for you. You're going to take on Will and Matt here at the end. You know those guys, so you're not familiar with the Tullahoma coach as much as you are Will and Matt, but that kind of rounds out a good West Tennessee feeling for you, I would say.
Oh, yeah. Will and Matt and myself.
Well, they kind of tease you behind the scenes, as you already know.
Yeah.
They've made jabs at me about you. You know that already.
But, their dad and my dad coached together. Actually, their dad coached me in middle school. And then after I went from 8th grade to 9th grade, my dad brought Rick up to the high school, and he was with us there, and I've always been around them and known them, and Matt and them are a little younger than I am, but I think a lot of them, and we're gonna get after each other, but
oh yeah,
but we respect each other, and
Well, a lot of people don't know up at this time of year, maybe in other parts of the United States, but where Henry County is, it's awful tough to keep people pretty focused because the crappie are fixing to hit, and when they start hitting at the land between the lakes, it's hard to keep people, anybody focused that knows how to catch crappie.
Yeah, and it's getting better too, from what I hear. It kind of dipped a little bit back when all the carp and all that got,
Yeah, that Asian carp jumping in your freaking boat and all that, yeah.
But they've got that under control now.
Do they?
And the bait fish are back, and it's the size of the crappie has really gotten better the last couple of years. And I talked to a guy yesterday, and they said it was fixing to happen, so.
People that don't understand, my father's been down there many a times and fished Barkley as well as Kentucky Lake, and of course, the Kentucky-Tennessee area, if you are a crappie angler, I mean, this is the heaven. I mean, there's a lot of places that you can put a wet line.
I like going in December, December, January, catching that cold water. I love that cold water crappie.
Well, we'll wrap it up with that tonight, Friday night, right here at 7 o'clock. Tullahoma Wildcats will come in. That kickoff is at 7. That's a non-region matchup. Y'all be here early as it's always a special time out here at the launch pad.